a new one. See, myself is Lakova. I am taking your science subject. So students, now we are discussing the sixth chapter. That is tissues. Sixth one chapter, and this is the science chapter, tissues, and particularly biology section. That is tissues. So students, what do you know about the tissues? First of all, that we have to discuss the introduction. Then later we'll go to next. So students, what do you know about the tissues and what is meant by the cell? See, whenever you are getting what is the meaning of the cell, whenever you are knowing what is the meaning of the cell, then only you can get the tissue meaning and whatever the chapter is. See students, see, cell. What is meant by cell? Cell is the basic fundamental unit. Cell is the basic fundamental unit of the life. We can say as that cell is the basic fundamental unit of the life, or it is the structural and functional unit of the life. See, cell itself has the two definitions. First one, which is that cell is the basic fundamental unit. Why we are calling that cell is a basic fundamental unit, students? Because, see, for example, now we have to build a building. What is the necessity for that building? What is the base for that building? So students, brick. Brick is the most necessary thing. That gives the base to that building. So like that, cell is also very, very important to an organism. That's why cell is what? Cell is the basic fundamental unit. We are calling cell is the basic fundamental unit of an organism. Otherwise, we can say as. One more definition: cell is the structural and functional unit of the life. Otherwise, cell is the structural and functional unit of the living organism. So students, what is meant by the cell? I think you got. What is meant by the cell? Cell is what? It is the fundamental unit. It is the fundamental unit of what? Unit of the organism. Cell is the fundamental unit of organism. Otherwise, we can say as it is what? It is the structural and functional unit of organism. Cell is the structural and functional unit of an organism. See students, why we are calling the cell as the structural and functional unit of the organism? Because, see, we have body structure. That body structure is made up of what? It is made up of the different kinds of the cells. It is made up of the group of the cells. See, that's why the structural, we are calling cell as the structural. It gives the structure to our body. Cell gives the structure to our body. And functional, why we are calling that cell is a structural and functional unit? Structure means it gives the function. It gives what? It gives the body shape. That's why we are calling that cell is the structural. And functional, what is meant by functional? Why we are calling that cell is a functional unit of an organism? Because some specialized cells are present in our body. And they are doing some specialized functions, some particular functions. They are doing some specialized functions or particular functions. That's why we are calling the cell as the structural and functional unit of an organism. See students, this is important. They may ask, see, give reason why cell is called as the structural and functional unit of an organism. Cell is called as the structural and functional unit of an organism because that Then what is meant by the tissue? What is meant by the tissue? And what are the examples for the tissue? What are the functions for the tissue? We will discuss today. See students, about cell we know now only. So, what is meant by the tissue? Tissue is the group of cells. Tissue is what? Tissue is the group of cells. It is made up of the cluster of the cells, bundle of the cells. We can say as the bundle of the cells, otherwise cluster of the cells. Tissue is that. Tissue is that. It is made up of the what? It is made up of the cluster or bundle of the cells. And these are similar in structure. These are similar in structure and function, and they are working together. And they are working together. That we are calling as what, students? That we are calling as the tissue. One more time clearly. What is meant by the tissue? Tissue is the group of cells. What it is? Tissue is the group of cells which is similar in structure. Which is similar in structure and function, and which will be working together. Which will be working together to form an action. To form an action that we are calling as what, students? That we are calling as the tissue. Tissue is important. So what is the definition, they may ask? What is the definition? Otherwise define the tissue. What is the tissue? Tissue is the group of cells. Tissue is the group of cells and which is similar in structure and function and which will be working together. Whenever the tissue will be working together, then only we are getting everything function well in our body. See students, this is important. What is a group of cells? Group of cells is called as the tissue. Group of cells is called as the tissue. And next, group of tissues. Group of tissues is called as the organ. And group of organs. Group of organs, it forms the organism. It forms the organism. And group of organs that forms organism. Organism itself says as. An organism itself says as what? Itself says as the life. It is important. First thing we know that a cell. First thing we know that a cell. What is meant by cell? Now only you know. What is meant by cell? It is the fundamental unit. Because of this cell only. Because of this cell only we are getting the body structure and some functions. We are getting some body structures and functions. See. Each cell, otherwise the bundle of the cell, otherwise the cluster of the cell that forms the tissue. Then what is meant by the tissue? Tissue is the group of cells. Tissue is the group of cells which will be similar in structure and function. Which will be similar in structure and function, and they will be working together. That we are calling as what, students? That we are calling as the tissue. The next, group of tissues. Group of tissues, they are forming the organ. They are forming the organ. For example, what is the example for the tissue? First we have to know about the example for the tissue. See students, in our body, we are having so many organs. We are having so many organs. Eyes, we have a pair of eyes. What are these? These are organs. And these are made up of what? These are made up of the group of tissues. These are made up of group of tissues. And blood is there. In our body, blood is there. And blood is also one of the tissue. Blood is also one of the tissue which will be carrying, otherwise which will be performing some special functions. So what is the function of the blood then? That blood carries hemoglobin. Blood carries hemoglobin because the blood itself contains the hemoglobin. It carries what it carries? It carries it transports some materials. It transports some materials and food. Food and some materials will be transported through the blood. That's why a blood is what? It is a tissue. Then phloem. So students, phloem, and we can say as what? Some organs we can give. Blood is there, phloem is there, even we can give the eyes. Even we can give the example as the eyes. See, group of the tissues, what they are forming, students? They are forming the organs. They are forming the organs. We can say eyes and organ. Then group of organs. Group of organs, they are forming what? They are forming the organism. We are the human beings. We are made up of group of the tissues. Group of the tissues and group of the tissue. Again that forms the group of tissue. Again it forms the organ. Then organ to organism. Organism is nothing but what? It is nothing but the life. Organism is nothing but the life form. So students, this is about the organism. How life will be formed. How life will be formed. By the cell, again by the tissues, and again by the organ. Last what we are saying, that is the organism. See students, tissue, meaning of the tissue, I think you got students. Then we are seeing the tissues in case of the animals also and in case of the plants also. So students, we are seeing the tissues in case of animals also, in case of the plants also. Are the tissues are same in case of the plants and as well as in case of the animals. So students, think this. Are the tissues which are present in case of the animals and in case of the plants, are they same? No, they are not same. They are not same because we are seeing so many differentiation. We are seeing so many different kinds. Means differentiation we are seeing in case of the tissue present in the animals and tissue present in case of the plants. So this is what there are tissues. Are tissues same in animals and plants. Animals and plants. This is the question. See, are tissues same in case of the animals and in case of the plants? So students, we have to discuss about this. So, are they the tissues which are present in case of the animals and plants? They are same or what? Otherwise they are different. If they are same, what is the reason? And if they are different, what is the reason that we have to discuss? See students, in case of the animals, and in case of the plants, what are the tissues are there? They are not same at all. They are not same at all. Why they are not same? See here, plants are not moving at all. Okay, they can respire. Even though as human beings, as animals are respiring, the plants also respiring. Plants also respire. They can also breathe, but they can't move. Plants are not moving. These are immovable. We can say as the immovable. But organisms like animals, they can move easily from one place to another place. From one village to another village. Some animals, otherwise animals, they are moving. But plants, they are not moving. They can't move. See, here only we can say as there is a difference. There is a difference in case of the tissues, where in case of the plants and in case of the animals. See, plants are having the tissues, okay, they are having the tissues and they are prominent at a place. They are particularly constant at a place. Because plants are not moving, they are prominent at a place, means they are supporting by some tissues. The plants are supporting, means they got the support by the tissues, some tissues. See, in case of the plants, we are seeing the dead cells. In case of the plants, we are seeing the dead cells. What is the function of that dead cell? Because tissue is nothing but the group of the cell. What is the function of the dead cell then? The dead cell in case of the plant, it gives the support. What it does? It gives the support to that plant. Otherwise we can say as the mechanical support. We can say as the mechanical students, that is, are the tissues. Are the tissues same in case of the animals and plants? So, tissues are not same in case of the plants and animals. See, animals are having the tissues, okay. They are moving from one place to another place. Because of what? Because of otherwise because of searching of the food and shelter. Animals are moving because of searching of the food and shelter. That's why there is a difference in case of the animals and in case of the plants. There is a difference in case of the animals and in case of the plants. So friends, this is about are the tissues same in case of the animals and plants. So if they ask this question, how to write answer? See students, exactly. Animals, the tissues present in case of the animals and plants are not same. The tissues which are present in case of the animals and plants are not same because what? Because the plants are not moving at all and they are constant at a place. The plants are not moving at all, they are constant at a place and they are having the dead cells. Plants are having the dead cells and those are helping for what? Those are helping for the, otherwise they are giving the mechanical strength, mechanical support to the plant. So that's why the cell is nothing but the tissue. So the plant is not moving at all. But in case of the animals, we are seeing what? The animals are moving from one place to another place because of in search of the food and shelter. Because of the in search of the food and shelter. So students, this is about the are the tissues same in case of the plants and animals. See students, tissues. In case of the tissues, tissue will be classified again. Tissue will be classified again based on the structural and functional. What is the function is there? What is the structure of the plant is there? Otherwise animal is there. The tissue will be again divided. Tissue will be again classified. See students, we know that plants are growing. Okay, plants are growing but some certain reasons. Plants are growing some certain reasons, but animals are growing at any condition they have to grow. Plants will stop their growing in some certain reasons. Because of what? Because of that dead cells only. Because of that dead cells only. But animals, they can't. They can grow up. They can grow up. Because of that, the tissue will be classified depending on the division. Tissue will be classified depending on the division. So students, now we discussed about the tissue. Then now we have to discuss about the classification of tissues. Classification of the tissues. How tissues will be classified and depending on what base. And depending on what is the base for the classification. Otherwise, what is the base for the division of the tissues. See, tissue will be divided. Tissues will be divided, otherwise classified on the basis of the growth. On the basis of the growth. So, how many types of tissues are there? How many types of tissues are there? We'll discuss, friends. So, friends, I thought you got this everything, what I have written here. See, what I am writing on the board, you have to write very shortly. Means you have to make your notes yourself. On the division only. On the division only we are classifying. On the growth only we are classifying the tissues. On the division and on the growth only we are classifying the tissues means first one which is that growing. Growing or meristematic or dividing tissue. The meristematic tissue is nothing but it has different kinds of the names. Meristematic tissue is nothing but the growing tissue. Growing tissue is nothing but what? It is the dividing tissue. And second one we are saying the permanent tissue. Permanent tissue. So this is about the classification of the tissues. What is this? This is about the classification of the tissues. So on the basis of the dividing, otherwise on the basis of the division and on the basis of the growing reason, on the basis of the growth and division, tissue will be classified into two types. It is important, students. How many types are there in case of the tissues on the basis of the division and the growth? See, there are two types. How many types? Two types on the basis of the division and the growth. So first one is that is the meristematic tissue. That is the meristematic tissue or growing tissue or dividing tissue. Meristematic tissue is nothing but growing and dividing tissue. And second one which is that permanent tissue. Second one is the permanent tissue. So students, now we will discuss the first one, that is the growing or meristematic or dividing tissue. Growing, meristematic or dividing tissue. See, we are seeing the meristematic tissue in case of the growing regions of plants. We are seeing the meristematic tissue in case of the growing regions of the plants. It is important, students, how they are asking questions. See here, explain the meristematic tissue. Explain the meristematic tissue. If they ask like this question, what you have to write? First definition. What is meant by the meristematic tissue and where it will be, in which region it is present, and what is the function of the meristematic tissue. These three are very, very important. So, one more time, how to write the meristematic tissue explanation. First thing, definition. What is meant by the meristematic tissue and in which region it is present. In which region it is present, and at last, what is the function of the meristematic tissue. See students, for example, if it is a plant, you are seeing like this. So this is graphite on here. This is the leaf and this is the flower, something else you assume. These are the roots, students, and this is the what? This is the stem and all. See, if it is a plant, where we are seeing the meristematic tissue in case of this plant, where we are seeing the meristematic tissue in case of this plant. See here, meristematic tissue, otherwise growing tissue, otherwise dividing tissue. The name only says that this is our dividing tissue. Meristematic, the name only itself implies that. The name only itself implies that this is our growing tissue or dividing tissue. So how to write the definition then? Meristematic tissue is nothing but the growing or dividing tissue. Meristematic tissue is nothing but dividing or whatever the dividing or growth, otherwise growing tissue. Then in case of the plants, where it is present, in which region it is present. See, if it is a plant, we are seeing the meristematic tissue in case of the growing regions. In case of the growing regions. See, at the tip of the plant, at the tip of the plants. For example, if you observe a plant, otherwise if you didn't observe, now observe students. If you are observing a plant, the growth of the plant where going on? In the part of the root. In the part of the root, growth will be going on, and at the upper part, at the apical region, otherwise at the tip, we can say as at the tip, growth will be going on, and at the root region. And in the root region, we are saying that plant will be growing. That plant will be growing. That's why mainly in the tip of the stem. You can say as the here. It is here in the tip of the stem and at the root part. At the root parts. That's why meristematic tissue is present where it is present. It is present at the growing regions. Then again on the division of the meristematic tissue, again on the growth of the meristematic tissue, we are classifying the meristematic tissue into three types. Again on the base of the division, we can say as exactly division. On the base of the division, meristematic tissue will be divided into three types. See students, don't be confused. In case of the tissue, there are mainly two types. There are mainly two types based on the growing region. Based on the growth, those are dividing tissue. It is nothing but the meristematic tissue. And second one, which is that permanent tissue. Meristematic tissue, again on the base of the division. Again on the base of the division and where it is present, at which region it is present, the classification will be going on based on that. So again, meristematic tissue, otherwise the growing tissue, will be classified into three types. Will be classified into three types. Which are those? Those are apical meristem. Apical meristem. Otherwise we can say as the apical meristematic tissue. And next one, intercalary. Intercalary meristem. Intercalary meristem. At last, third one, that is lateral. Lateral meristem. So, students, these are the three which are classified in the, otherwise under the basis of the meristematic tissue. On the base of what? On the base of the division. On the base of the division, meristematic tissue will be classified into three types. So, first one is the apical meristem, second one is the intercalary meristem, and third one is the lateral meristem. And third one is the lateral meristem. So, students, first we'll see where these three tissues will be present, in which region they are present in case of the plant. See students, particularly now what we are studying? We are studying about the plant tissues. We are studying about the plant tissues. In case of the plant tissue only, we are seeing the meristematic and permanent tissue. And again, meristematic tissue will be classified into apical meristem, then intercalary meristem, lateral meristem. These three will be, otherwise these three are the base of what? They are present on the base of the dividing. On the division, we are classifying like this three. See students, if it is a plant where we are saying these three means apical, intercalary, lateral meristem, in which region they are present and what is the function? This is important. On which base meristematic tissue will be classified and where they are present, means at which region they are present. See here, apical meristem. First one is the apical meristem. What is meant by apical meristem and what is the function of the apical meristem? Where it is present. Where it is present. See students, apical meristem. Apical meristem is present at the tip of the stem. Means it is present in the growing region of the plant. So, growing region, as we know that where we are seeing the growth of the plant, at the tip of the stem and at the root part. And at the root part we are seeing the growth of a plant. We are seeing the growth of a plant at the tip of the stem and at downside of the root. In the part of the root we are seeing the part. What we are seeing? We are seeing the growth of the plant. So students, apical meristem, where it is present? Apical meristem is present in the growing regions of the plant. Where it is present? In the growing regions of the plant. And what is the function of the apical meristem, students? What is the function function of the apical meristem? It is important, students. For example, see here. This is a plant. Assume this is not a plant, but you have to assume. If it is a plant, what we are seeing, students? Assume this as the stem, and here some roots are there. Apical meristem, where it is present? At the tip of the stem. At the tip of the stem and at the growing regions of the root. Otherwise, we can say as in the part of the root, apical meristem is present. Then, what is the function of the apical meristem? It increases the length of the stem and root. See here, for example, now this is a plant. We are seeing here some roots and all. And this is the stem, something else. Apical meristem, where it is present? In the growing region of the stem. This is the stem. In the growing region of the stem and in the growing region of the root. We are seeing the apical meristem here. See, students, then what is the function of the apical meristem? It increases the length of the stem. See, this is we are saying as the length of the stem. It increases the length of the stem and root. It increases the length. For example, if it is the stem, it increases the length of the stem. That is the function of the apical meristem. Then, second one, which is that is the intercalary meristem. Second one is the intercalary meristem. Then, what is meant by intercalary meristem? Intercalary meristem is nothing but it belongs to the meristematic tissue. It belongs to meristematic tissue, otherwise dividing tissue, otherwise growing tissue. So, where it is present, that intercalary meristem present in case of the internodes. Where it is present? It is present in case of the internodes. Internodes means where? See, for example, if it is the stem, again a leaf is there. This part what we are calling, students? This part we are calling as the nodal region. What we are calling is as the nodal region. Here, the whatever is there, intercalary meristem will be present in the nodes region. Otherwise, we can say as the nodal region. Then, where is the nodal region? The region where stem and leaf attached. The region where stem and leaf attached, that we are calling as the node. That we are calling as the node. N-O-D-E. N-O-D-E is the node. This is the nodal region. So in this region we are seeing the intercalary meristem. Then what is the function of the intercalary meristem? It increases the girth. It increases the girth. For example, now we can say as the around, as radius, as we are saying in case of the math, like that. Radius is nothing but what? Girth. That is girth. Spelling of the girth, that is G-I-R-T-H. Girth is nothing but we can say as the radius. Girth is nothing but radius. So, intercalary meristem, it is present in case of the nodal region. Intercalary meristem, it is present in case of the nodal region. And what is the function of the intercalary meristem? It increases the girth. It increases the radius of the stem and root. Apical meristem, that increases the length. Then lateral meristem, that is lateral to intercalary meristem. What it increases? It increases the radius. Otherwise, girth of the stem. Then students, last one, that is lateral meristem. See students, lateral meristem will be present at the just base of the plant, means downside of the plant. In this reason we are seeing the lateral meristem. Lateral meristem, what is the function of the lateral meristem then? It helps for the growth of the plant. Lateral meristem, it helps for the growth of the plant and it gives the support. It gives the mechanical support to the plant. So students, this is about the classification, otherwise division of the meristematic tissue. See students, every tissue has a cell. Every tissue has a cell, and that each cell has the dense nucleus. See, for example, if it is a cell, If it is a cell, so a cell, what it has to contain? What it has to contain means it has a nucleus. We can say as the dense nucleus. We can say as the dense nucleus. Then cytoplasm. Then some organs we are seeing mitochondria, something else we are seeing, some vacuoles are present in case of this cell. So animal cell as well as the plant cell, what they are having? They are having the nucleus. They are having the dense nucleus and cytoplasm. What is mean by cytoplasm? Cytoplasm is nothing but the jelly-like substance. Cytoplasm is nothing but it is a jelly-like substance. Why I am saying this about the cell? Because the meristematic tissue which is formed, after the growth that has a nucleus, that has a dense nucleus along with some vacuoles, along with the cytoplasm. For example, see here, a plant is there. If you are cutting a plant, otherwise you can do an activity, I'll tell. See, take 2 beakers. What you have to do? You have to take the 2 beakers. Wait, I'll tell. So students, I think you got this. So if you are having your notebook, you have to take your notebook and pen and write whatever points I am writing on the board. It is good for you only. So students, now we will do an activity. See, first of all, we have to take the 2 beakers. What we have to take? We have to take the 2 beakers. Otherwise, we can say as the jar. In these two, what we have to take? Onion we have to take. Onion, which is our root, and this is filled with the water. See students, this is jar A, this is jar B. See, what you have to do? Activity. First, take 2 jars. Take 2 jars, jar A, jar B. In these 2, you have to fill with water. Not fully, only you have to fill with half of the water and take 2 onion buds. What do you have to take? 2 onion buds and immerse. Otherwise, you have to keep the onion on the jar. And root of that onion must be in the water. See, you have to observe the onion as day 1, day 2, day 3, day 5 like this. First of all, you have to take the 2 beakers, otherwise 2 jars and 2 onions. Fill the 2 beakers, otherwise fill the jars with the water and keep onion on the beaker. See, leave that beaker as it is for 1 day. After 1 day, you have to observe the onion. Okay, something you are getting there, otherwise something observation you are seeing there. Then after 2 days, after 3 days, what you are saying students? There is a growth of the root. In case of the onion. Because of what? Because of the meristematic tissue. There is a growth in case of the onion. Then after 3 days, from the beaker B, you have to cut the roots of the onion. After 3 days, what I am saying? After 3 days, you have to cut the roots of the onion which is present in case of the beaker B. Then keep as it is. Then after 5 days, again observe the beaker A and beaker B. So students, what you are observing here? The root which is present in case of the jar, the onion which is present in case of the jar A has the growth of the root more. Here cut the